What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Ethan Horror, and today we are back with episode 5 of my Halloween Spooktacular, which, if you guys are new, is when I post 13 videos throughout the month of October. I used to do it on the first week. This year, I'm doing it throughout the month of October, and I'm going to do another tier list today. I know I've already done 2 tier lists so far out of 4 videos, but I'm going to do another one because this is one I've wanted to do for years now. This has always been one that I've had on my schedule. I've wanted to do it, and I figured Halloween Spooktacular was the time to do it. So I'm going to be giving you, I think, 5, maybe 6 tier lists, but that's still 7 other videos in here throughout October that you're going to get. So yeah, I'm going to be doing directors today. Now, I don't think that there are any bad horror directors. Even the people I'm going to put in bottom tier, I labeled it not for me, because people can like any director. I think all of these directors are good. That's why they're iconic horror movie directors. So yeah, I love all of these directors for their own reasons, but some of their films just aren't for me. So yeah, especially when we're talking about like real people, it just comes down to I'm ranking their work, not the person, because most of these people are pretty good people in real life. So yeah, ranking their work, not the person. So, we are here at the tier list. Now, I got 45 directors to go through. I went through some of the masters of horror, some of my personal favorites, just people who have had a bunch of different horror movies, and pulled them all together for the list. I was a lot more forgiving on the categories here. How do I make this? Okay, there we go. At the top, I have Masters of Horror, then Great / Too New to put in the top. Then we have Consistent / Good, Has Potential or Has Some Good Ones. And then at the bottom, as I said, Not For Me. That doesn't mean they're a bad director. That means they don't make movies that I personally enjoy. Let's get into it. Now, starting off with the king of horror himself, besides, I guess Stephen King is also on the list, but the king of horror filmmaking, Wes Craven. He's my favorite horror movie director of all time. Up at the top, Masters of Horror. I mean, I was going to do a top 10 directors list before I decided to do a tier list instead. And he topped the list. I mean, you have A Nightmare on Elm Street. He created that franchise. Then he came back, did Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Then he did the first 4 Scream movies. He's also made Red Eye, Last House on the Left, People Under the Stairs, Swamp Thing, Serpent in the Rainbow. Like, he has made endless classic horror movies, so he is obviously in the top. Now we have John Carpenter, and John Carpenter, yeah, you knew exactly where he's going. He's following him up right into the top. If there's a Mount Rushmore of horror movie directors, these two need to be on it, or it's completely invalid, okay? You get The Thing, you get Halloween, you get The Fog, you get Christine, you get In the Mouth of Madness. So, like, this guy has also, just like Wes Craven, he has made so many classics that it's impressive how many amazing horror movies he's made. Then we have Tobe Hooper, and Tobe Hooper, I'm gonna stick him in great. He also could make a Mount Rushmore of horror directors, but for me, I don't love all of his movies. Obviously, you get Texas Chainsaw Massacre and its sequel. He's also made Poltergeist. Those are like his main big ones. Otherwise, you got like The Funhouse, some other ones in there. I obviously love Poltergeist and love Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but the second one, don't really like that one. And The Funhouse was all right. So he's a very good director. Not one of my personal favorites, though. Now we have Sam Raimi, and this is arguably not a horror director, but he did make the original Evil Dead trilogy as well as Drag Me to Hell. So he is definitely valid for the list, and I'm going to stick him in Consistent. Now, that's only because I am not a huge fan of the original Evil Dead trilogy. He makes good movies. He makes consistently good, solid movies for me, so yeah, middle tier. Now we have Joe Dante, and Joe Dante, he has The Howling, which is, I think, my favorite of his. Then you have Gremlins and Gremlins 2. I'm trying to think of other ones he has. I know he has a few others, but yeah, Master of Horror. I mean, I was trying to be like, I'm trying to be conservative here, but like, I love horror movies, and these directors are all so good that like, yeah, I have no problem putting like 400 up in the top. Now we have Dario Argento. I've only seen Suspiria and Deep Red, but I've heard he's made other good ones as well that I haven't checked out. But just because of those two, I'm honestly going to put him in great. But again, I've only seen two of his, so that is really hindering him from getting up to the top tier. I love Suspiria. I liked Deep Red, but not one of my personal favorite filmmakers when I think of it. Now we have James Wan, and he is another relatively new director, but he is a master of horror. Yeah, like I said with Wes Craven and John Carpenter, this dude created Saw, Insidious, and The Conjuring. That is three of the biggest modern horror franchises, period. So he absolutely deserves to be in the top. Otherwise, he has Dead Silence, which I don't love, and Malignant, which is great. So yeah, one of the best directors of our generation. So yeah, very good. Now we have Scott Derrickson, and Scott Derrickson, for me, is going up into Masters of Horror. He's one of my favorite modern horror directors. He has not made a movie I dislike yet. I loved his segment in VHS 85. I love Sinister. I love The Black Phone. I am super excited for The Black Phone 2, and I'm actually going to do a Scott Derrickson movie ranking when I get, when that movie comes out. But, the only thing that I considered not putting up in the top is Hellraiser Inferno. But all the Hellraiser sequels suck, so I'm not holding that against him. Now we have Radio Silence, and I remember what I just said about Scott Derrickson being my favorite. Yeah, take that back. Radio Silence, they're my favorite. I love all these directors so much. They made Abigail, Ready or Not, two movies that I consider 4.5, 5-star movies. They also made Scream and, or Scream 2025, I should say, and Scream 6. And they had a segment in the original VHS, so I think that they have yet to miss, so I'm excited for whatever they give us next. Next up, we have Tom Holland. No, not that one. Not that one. Tom Holland, the most underrated horror filmmaker of all time. This guy made Child's Play and Fright Night, and a bunch of other, like, Stephen King adaptation movies, but I'm putting this guy up into the top. I know the top is stacked, but that's just, I love directors. I love these guys. Tom Holland, he is so underappreciated. Fright Night is one of my favorite vampire movies, if not my favorite vampire movie of all time. And he, obviously, Child's Play, one of the most iconic horror movie film franchises. Obviously, he didn't create it, but he directed the first one and started that legacy, so up there in the top. Next up, we have Leigh Whannell. And Leigh Whannell, I was very impressed by how much I loved Upgrade, and then I loved Invisible Man, and Insidious 3 is my favorite Insidious movie. Then we got The Wolfman, and he kind of crapped the bed on that one. I didn't like that one all that much, but I'm going to stick him in consistent. I was going to say has potential, but we've seen that he's good. He has made 3 good movies. Just because he makes one bad one doesn't mean he is not a... Did you see that? I wonder if my camera picked that up. Oh my god, that lightning was bright. Whew. I think a storm's a-brewing. Oh, Jesus. Now we have Fede Alvarez, and he has made the Evil Dead remake, Don't Breathe, and Alien Romulus. So I'm going to stick him in... great. I mean, he's too new to put in the top because he's only made a few movies so far, but I haven't disliked any of his movies. I think they've all been pretty good. Evil Dead, I think, is probably my favorite of the 3. But yeah, he's a good director, and I'm excited for whatever he puts out next. I'm seriously curious if you can hear that. That is thunder now. Now we have Ari Aster. This is the, oh my god, this is the most hard one to place because Hereditary is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I think that is because of the directing, but he has yet to make another movie I really loved. I liked Midsummer, and I hated Beau's Afraid, so he's going to go and has potential and has some good ones, but I need to see some more from him before I consider him a master of horror, because I love Hereditary. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, but I need to see some more high-quality movies. Next up, we have George Romero, and I think it would be a wrongdoing to not put him up into Masters of Horror. Now we have David Cronenberg, and I've only seen a couple of his movies, Scanners and The Fly. I really like The Fly. I really didn't like Scanners. I'm going to stick him into has some good ones, but not for me. Not for me. I'm not going to put him in not for me because I really like The Fly, but I need to, this is not on him. I need to see a little bit more of his filmography to put him up higher. Now we have Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele has potential. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know. Get Out, masterpiece. Fantastic movie. Us, I used to love it. Now I realize that it literally is so unrealistic. And then Nope. He focuses way too hard on the metaphor that he sacrifices, at least in Us, he sacrifices story and plot and characters and just kind of, yeah, metaphor. So he needs to, you can have metaphors in your movie, but focus on the movie, and then you could be a amazing director. So he has potential, but I have yet to be blown away by him since Get Out. Now we have Alfred Hitchcock, and as a director, S tier. Like, he's top tier director, but we're going off of his horror films, and yeah, no, he's still top tier. He's still top tier. I mean, he's made Psycho and The Birds. We have Sean S. Cunningham. This is the director of the original Friday the 13th, the guy who came up with the Friday the 13th concept. And it's funny that I'm going to put him in not for me, because Friday the 13th is my favorite film series of all time. So it's weird that I'm putting him down there, but he's not a very good director, I'm going to be honest. I mean, he's successful, obviously. He's super successful, and he created Friday the 13th, but God, this dude did not know how to direct that original Friday the 13th. Now we have Stuart Gordon, the man behind From Beyond and Reanimator. I'm going to stick him into consistent. He releases consistent, fun horror movies. Nothing fantastic, nothing that's going to blow you away, but consistently good and fun horror movies. And next up, we have Stephen King. This guy has directed one movie. That is Maximum Overdrive. So, he counts for the list. I really just put him in here because I wasn't sure if there was going to be any in the bottom tier, and I felt comfortable putting Stephen King in the bottom tier for horror director. He's my favorite writer of all time. I love his books. It is my favorite book of all time, but yeah, not for me. Clive Barker. He made the Hellraiser. I think he made the first and second. He at least helped with the second one. He has some good ones. I'm not a huge fan of the Hellraiser movies. That's just why he's this low. Obviously, he created Hellraiser, so he's a pretty good director, but yeah, I just don't really love Hellraiser, so that's why he's gonna go this low. Frank Henenlotter, and if you don't know who Frank Henenlotter is, you are missing out, my friend, because he made the 3 Basket Case movies and Frankenhooker, and I just talked about Frankenhooker in my last video. That movie is batshit insane, and I love it. I love Frankenhooker so much, so he's gonna go into consistent, because like, he doesn't make good movies. I'm not going to even start to claim he does, but he makes movies that are fun as hell, and I enjoy all of them. Now we got Tommy Lee Wallace, and this guy, he made the It 1990 miniseries, and I'm blanking on the other ones that he's made, but he's made other horror movies as well. And I'm going to stick him in, has some good ones. He's not one of the most iconic horror movie directors of all time. You know, he's made some good ones. Obviously, I really like the It miniseries because I love It so much. But, yeah. Now we have Rennie Harlin. I'm going to put Rennie Harlin in Not For Me. Stick with me here. This guy knows how to make action movies. He's a very good actor. If this was an action director tier list, he might be an A or S tier. Like, he is a fantastic action director. As far as horror goes, yeah, he's made, Nightmare 4, Strangers Chapter 1, and, Deep Blue Sea. Deep Blue Sea is my favorite of the three, but I didn't love it that much to be like, oh, he's a great horror director. So, great director, not a great horror director. Takashi Miike. This is the one foreign director that I was like, yes, absolutely he has to. Besides Dario Argento, I was like, he has to be in here. Like, he has to be. And I'm going to stick him in consistent. I've only seen 2 of his movies, so that's probably why. I've seen Audition and Ichi the Killer. I like Ichi the Killer a good bit. Audition I didn't love quite like a lot of people do. M. Night Shyamalan. Now, he makes some very good movies. He's made Sixth Sense. He's made Signs. He's made Unbreakable. That one doesn't count because it's not horror. But Split counts because that's horror. So he's made some very good ones, but then he's also made The Happening, Old. The Visit, I think, is pretty good, but I'll stick him in great, but he needs to hone it back in. I don't think he's made a good movie since The Visit, pretty much. So, now we have Tim Burton. And Tim Burton, I know I said Wes Craven's my favorite horror director of all time. Tim Burton is my favorite director of all time. That might be controversial, I'm not sure. Now we have Ridley Scott. This guy, if we were doing just a director's tier list, obviously he would be clear in S. But, you know, as far as a horror director goes, I think I gotta put him in the... I'm just kidding. Obviously he's in the top tier. He made Alien. Don Mancini. And this one's tough because he created the Child's Play series. But if we look at the ones he's directed, it's Seed of Chucky, Curse of Chucky, Cult of Chucky. So he's batting 1 for 3 for me. I love Curse of Chucky. The other two I don't like Seed at all. And Cult is absolutely fine. So has some good ones. Eli Roth. Now, Eli Roth, I think, is a very good filmmaker. He has some great stylistic movies. He made the first 2 Hostel movies and Thanksgiving, and I think a couple others. Those are the 3 that I've seen. But this is the first one that I'm going to put genuinely in Not For Me. I am not a huge torture porn guy. I like Saw, but that's about it. So I'm not a fan of the Hostel movies, and I really didn't like Thanksgiving. Charles Band. Again, if you haven't heard of Charles Band, you are missing out. This guy created Full Moon Features, if you ever heard of them. Puppet Master, Demonic Toys, Evil Bong, Ginger Dead Man. Am I not convincing you yet? And has some good ones, because he makes insane movies that are just off the rails. I've seen all of the Evil Bong movies, unfortunately. Twice. Now we have Rob Zombie. I have no problem putting him down here in Not For Me. Halloween 2, the remakes, House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, 3 from Hell, 31. Those are the ones of the movies that he's directed that I've seen. And I like one of them, and that's House of a Thousand Corpses. So, his style, not my thing at all. I get it if you like him. I like his music. He makes very good music. But, I don't like his movies. Now we got Michael Dougherty, and a lot of people don't put him on, like, the new modern classic directors, but I think he should be on there, because he has made Trick or Treat and Krampus, 2 of the most classic modern holiday horror movies. So I'm going to stick Michael Dougherty in consistent. Now we have Damien Leone, and this dude, I have so much respect for Damien Leone. He created the Terrifier franchise from pennies and nickels, and they have some of the best practical effects I have ever seen put to film. But if we are ranking based on his films, I unfortunately do have to put him in Not For Me. I don't like All Hallows Eve. I don't like Terrifier. I don't like Terrifier 2. I think Terrifier 3 is far and away his best movie, but if we're going off of his movies, unfortunately, I do have to put him down. You know what? No. It's my list. Even if I don't like his movies, I'm putting him in Has Potential, because I have so much respect for this guy, and he's only gotten better as far as I'm concerned. He's only gone up. So. Now we have Darren Lynn Bousman, and if you don't know this guy, he's directed basically all the good Saw sequels. So, yeah, consistent. Now we have Adam Wingard, and he has made one of my favorite horror movies of all time, You're Next. He's also made Death Note and some not-so-great segments from the VHS series. Has potential. Has potential. Now we have Robert Eggers. And Robert Eggers is a great master. He's already a master. As far as I'm concerned, he is already a master. The Lighthouse, The Witch, and Nosferatu. Those three are enough to put him up there. I've seen all three of them. The Witch is my favorite. The Lighthouse is probably my least favorite, but he's already a master. He has mastered his style and his filmmaking techniques, so he is a fantastic director. Christopher Landon. This is going to be the one on this list where I'm just going to be like, yes, I understand. Not everybody's thing. Christopher Landon, for me, he's going up into Masters of Horror. He has yet to make a movie I dislike. Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day 2 and Freaky are some of my favorite horror comedies ever. Oh, and Drop, the new one, Drop. I really like Drop as well. So so far, he's batting 1,000. So now we got Mike Flanagan, and yeah, I got to put him up in the top. It's a top-heavy list. I'm sorry. These dudes are so good at making movies, and it's unfortunate I have to say dudes, because there's only 2 women on this list, and I was very shocked in the fact that there was only 2 women on this list. So, let's just get to the first one, Lee Janiak. Now, I saw this base list, and I was like, there's only one woman on here of, like, the iconic directors. So I added her on. Okay, Lee Janiak, I understand the Fear Street movies aren't iconic yet, but she's a very good director, and her style shines through in every single movie she makes. So I'm going to stick Lee Janiak into great. I would like to see her do something aside from the Fear Street movies, see if, her style translates to something else. But so far, she has, I love all 3 of the Fear Street movies, so she's batting 1,000. But, yeah. Now we have David Gordon Green, and God, no, I can't put him in Not For Me because I love Halloween 2018, but he's got to pick it up. He's got to pick it up because he has only gone downhill from there. I loved Halloween 2018, then Halloween Kills kind of did a little decline, then Ends did a huge decline, and The Exorcist Believer just nosedove. So you need to start picking it up, but I do love Halloween 2018, so I can't put you in the bottom. Ty West, he is really new, so I'm going to put him in 2 new, but he I think will be the next master of horror after he starts making more. Obviously, he made his Extraordinary trilogy, and I love the first 2 movies in that, and Maxine was not really for me, so if anything, that's another reason that I have him out of the top, but if I were to predict who's the next master of horror, it's that man. Zach Kreger, trying to remember what else he's made. I know he made Barbarian, and I can't remember what else he's made, but he is a consistently good filmmaker. He makes consistent movies. I also would put him in Has Potential, but he hasn't made a movie I dislike yet, so I feel like I can't put him down there, because he's made consistent good movies. Now we're on to Coralie Farja. Now, she was the only woman on the list at first. She has made Revenge and The Substance. And she's batting 1,000 for me. She's too new to put in Masters yet. I need to see a little bit more work from her, but great. And finally, we have Norman Bates' son, Osgood Perkins. Has potential. He has a lot of potential. He actually, as far as the people in this tier and has some good ones, has some potential, him and Ari Aster, I think, have the most potential. He has made Longlegs, Blackcoat's Daughter, and The Monkey, and I think he's only gotten better. So he's trending upwards. So I'm excited for what he's gonna do next. Has some potential. He has potential. And that is going to be my completed director's tier list. All the horror directors. This was a very top-heavy list because, as I said, I love all of these directors. I think genuinely all of them are good at something. Even the people I put in the bottom, I tried to name something I loved about all of them because I didn't want to be rude. Rob Zombie, obviously, I said I love his music. And Stephen King, I love his writing. And Sean S. Cunningham, I love that he created my favorite franchise of all time. Eli Roth, he has a very good, distinct style. And Renny Harlin is a fantastic director, just not for horror movies. So I like all these directors. I like all of them as people. But yes, this is my completed tier list. So remember, if you did enjoy, make sure to hit like and subscribe. So if you want to see more videos like it in the future, hit the bell notification to be notified when I post any brand new videos and the rest of my Halloween Spooktacular. And until next time, I'm Ethan Horror. This has been Ethan Horror. Watch out for episode 6. It's a good one.